Hello, hello, hello. We are coming back again here for another week of Apex Legends through Esports Ohio. This time, the old classic for competitive Apex, World's Edge, where we're going to see teams dropping in here for our 8th week of matches. Let's see how things shake out, and we'll see what team comps we get here in just a couple moments. Only 2 weeks left after this one, so it'll be interesting to see how the race to qualify for the postseason goes. Let's take a look and see what kind of team picks we're going to get. All right, here we go. What kind of legends are going to be popular today? I predict some aggressive plays. Yep, we got quite a few assault characters, a couple scan characters as well, but a lot of movement-based abilities here. A couple controllers in the mix. Some wraiths coming out here. No surprise from some of these teams, so we've seen play these aggressive comps before. And then our final pick, again, some controllers, quite a few support characters, quite a few lifelines, people looking for that reset ability. Here we go. We see our dropships dropping in all over the map. Let's take a look and see where our teams are going to be falling. All right, here we go. Starting at the top of the list, we've got Auburn Career Center, who gets a lucky draw here and gets Lava Siphon all to themselves. Rotating through teams, we've got Beaver Creek High School, who also gets a pretty big POI of Harvester. Collins Career Center A, one of our more aggressive squads. Looks like they have Overlook here. We've got Collins B Squad, meanwhile, all the way over here at Countdown. Goshen's A Squad, it looks like, dropping in at... hard to tell, is this... well, they're immediately getting a contest. Let's watch this here. Sprinting. They must have landed at Mirage, and then they're immediately rushing on this team over here at Staging. Let's stay with this aggressive play here. They are triple here with guns on another team. If we take a look at the team that they're fighting, it is Reynoldsburg High School. Really good damage from Reynoldsburg onto the Caustic here, and they're going to go down. The rest of the Reynoldsburg squad now moving up a little bit. Let's see where the duo here for Goshen is going to go. They've actually pushed all the way through, it looks like. Actually kind of split here. Deciding to play quiet while they go for the finish. The Maggie zips up, looking for a way out. Meanwhile, the Loba, using her kit to the best of the abilities, decides, you know what, let's get out. Some aggressive play here coming out from Goshen's A Squad. Doesn't seem to pay off in this particular fight, but as long as they play smart, they may get a reset here. Meanwhile, Goshen's C Squad, it looks like, probably dropped at Geyser, but they've rotated a little bit now. They're now moving their way through the tunnel and also actually running into a team. That is Collins Career Center A, of course. Makes sense that this Overlook team would rotate through here. A quick fight here as Goshen C is eliminated here.
Replicator there.
As we keep rotating through our teams here, Indian Hill High School, it looks like, still looting up. Where are we on the map here for Indian Hill? We're way over here at Stacks, it looks like. Lakota High School, meanwhile, it looks like now all the way over at Climatizer here. Reynoldsburg High School, moving their way actually into Staging. Looks like from a landslide drop, most likely. St. X's A Squad was over there at Mod, so pretty close to that team that we saw at Stacks as well, where they may run into each other in a moment here. We've got Tiffin Columbia A, who at this moment is right on the other side of Harvester here. Must have landed in, yeah, the rest of the team here still looting over in Fragment. We've got Tiffin's B Squad, one down actually, way over here at Lava Fisher, looking to get a reset. Warren G. Harding High School now moving in from possibly a dome, possibly a launch site POI. We're not sure, but now they're making their way into the tunnel here, maybe running into a team from Stacks. And that brings us back to Auburn Career Center. Let's take a look at the map and see who's going to be running into one another. Warren G. Harding right now fighting with Indian Hill. That is in the tunnel there that we just saw. They get an early knock here onto the lifeline. And that's going to be it for Indian Hill. Unfortunately, caught unaware in the tunnel there by Warren G. Harding and taken out. If we take a look at our map, we can see some other fights likely to break out here. Few teams stacking up that are going to be running into one another as this zone starts pulling towards Harvester. Looks like Goshen's A squad looking to get the reset off in Harvester, although Auburn Career Center right nearby. Other teams that are going to be near one another. Let's take a look here as teams collapse. Collins A squad. Not a surprise here. We've seen this many a time from this Wraith. She wants to rush in. Good damage. Manages to take one out onto this team of Tiffin Columbia A. Meanwhile, it looks like the Crypto, who's going to be all the way over here in Fragment still, is going to pull back. If they play smart, should probably be able to get teammates manners and res. This is now Lakota fighting with that Collins squad. One down for Lakota. They take the portal out, and their altar is going to try and pull and get the reset. One knocked. Octane's going for the finish. This is actually Collins' B squad now. One full finished, one knocked, and then the Mirage is going to take that opportunity to get out. Meanwhile, Collins' A squad kind of right on top of them, also pushing from behind.
We should go there. You got it.
If we take a look at the kill feed, we do see some other damage being done here. Let's stick with this fight for just a minute. And that's going to be it for Lakota as they are chased down by Collins' A squad. If we take a look at some other conflicts that are breaking out here, looks like we have Auburn Career Center now actually one full finished and one full finished and one low here as they're fighting with Beaver Creek High School. A knock comes out by the Sparrow here for Auburn Career Center. Another one knocked as well. It's going to be just a solo trying to get out here as the lifeline looks to escape, and she cannot. Beaver Creek going to be eliminated there by Auburn Career Center, leaving them free and clear in that position. No other teams really right on top of each other. We may see some action here. Goshen A does manage to get the reset, so they are 3 up, but low on loot and low on armor here. Reynoldsburg High School, who gave them a little bit of a taste of that aggression when they managed to break that push by them earlier on, now walking up. So we may see a bit of a rematch happening here. Let's watch and see. It looks like Reynoldsburg's aware. Goshen not quite as plugged into where their enemies are at. Good shots early on here coming out from the Revenant here. Thinks about going for the leap, decides not to do it. Loba queues over to the command center. Now Rev Leap comes out, chasing down the Loba. Good damage from the PK and finished off with the R301. The remaining duo here for Goshen looking to get out. One goes down, so that's going to be a knock on the Caustic. And that's going to be Goshen's A team eliminated. Once again, unfortunately, not able to win it out versus Reynoldsburg. Meanwhile, we see Collins A here rushing in. Again, very aggressive squad, so I wouldn't be surprised to see them immediately try and take this fight onto Reynoldsburg. Not really a third party because the fight is pretty much finished. But we know they like to play aggressive. And Reynoldsburg now going to be taken out in turn by Collins A. Let's stick with them for just a moment here because they are actually getting walked up on by Warren G. Harding. The Wraith here for Collins, not quite as experienced with the R3 as with the R9, it seems. Does a little bit of entry damage, but not quite as much as they might have liked. They are going to get at least one knocked here. Meanwhile, it looks like they're running into a whole new squad. Yeah, this is Auburn Career Center now.
Bandit here. Contact.
Good damage being done here now by the Octane on Collins Career Center. They managed to get another full finish onto the Auburn squad. The Sparrow looking to get out as that 3-man of Collins wants to chase. Looks like Collins' B squad now actually running into the solo of Warren G. Harding. This Octane in a tough spot here. Goes for the double stim. Going to be able to heal a little bit while hopefully getting out and getting away. Also pops a cell with that overflow healer. Collins quite a ways away. Octane can kind of just run forever now, so probably going to get away, but whether he'll be able to reset remains to be seen. The remaining Warren G. Harding player that downed Crypto is going to die in zone here. Sanex's A squad now. It looks like actually this Warren G. Harding player, hoping to get a reset off of that crafter, runs right into Sanex's A squad. And of course, immediately looking to third party, we have Collins, who likes to play aggressive. They're looking for action in this fight. Let's watch for a minute here.
Care package over there. Let's get on that.
In the midst of this push, it looks like perhaps the solo for Warren G. Harding might be able to get out and live another day. But Collins is going to take this fight onto Sanex's A squad. Sheila comes out. Unfortunate there as the Caustic swings out just a little bit, but then gets the door closed on their back. We saw last week that a good controller comp is going to be able to hold back a team like this who likes to play extremely aggressively. So it is now one knocked here on Collins. Just a solo here inside right now. And unfortunately, that Sanex A team is going to be eliminated. Collins now off here by themselves, looking to find their way into circle. Collins' B squad getting set up on height here, looking for a little bit more passive of a spot. They've got full view of the zone. We've got Tiffin Columbian's B squad here, a little bit low on armors, but they are managing to make their way into the circle here, and it is top 5 squads. We've got Warren G. Harding here. Manages to get at least one teammate back up here, so they are going to be a duo. And then who's our remaining folks here? We've got 5 squads here, but I'm only seeing 4 on the map. We'll take a look here in just a minute. Tiffin Columbian A is taken out. They must have been a solo in here that we just missed in the mix of names, but they are going to get taken out here. So it's going to be Collins B on height, Collins A over here on the cliff, looking to move their way in. Warren G. Harding as a duo now looks to try and get their other teammate back up. Pops the res beacon a little bit early. This Octane in a bit of a tough spot here as both Collins squads kind of look down. Let's watch a little bit from the perspective of this Wraith. We know she likes to run and chase down teams. Isn't able to find the duo. There, finds the duo just now. Collins, again, still sitting on height. Tiff and Columbia now here on the backside of zone.
Go here.
They don't have zone. Collins Career Center A is going to move in towards the center, towards that B squad. Octane Pad, probably going to be enough to get you up onto height if they decide they want to push this team. They go for a building instead.
Relocate here. Care package over there.
Warren G. Harding, meanwhile, respawning both, manages to get a late game res here. So it is going to be a 3v3 v3
Let's go over here.
v3 as we have Tiff and Columbia B here as a full squad. Warren G. Harding rotating in. Collins B on height, now looking immediately at that Warren G. Harding squad as they move in, getting some good damage down. And then Collins A still kind of running around a little bit on the bottom, takes the circle building. Does not have zone for the next pull. So we can see they're going to have to make their way onto height. It is Tiff and Columbia zone here.
Evo cash here.
Collins now taking some shots from Tiff and Columbia. Really, really good damage here being done by that squad onto the Wraith. Decides to port in, wants to push this.
Enemies right here.
Tiff and Columbia B taken out. Meanwhile, we can hear a res going down here. Warren G. Harding once again getting teammates back in the game. It's going to be Collins A here on height while their B squad rotates in. Now running once again into Warren G. Harding. We've seen this before. Lots of damage being done to their Wraith, but then relying on that Q. This is the risk with a squad like this, is when you rely on getting in, doing a ton of damage, it is entirely possible that you could be, have that strategy broken. Now just a solo, a 1v2, because it does sound like they get the res here by Warren G. Harding. The Wraith is going to be full health. No teammates up, though. Does manage to get a knock once again onto the Warren G. Harding member. They are going for the res here. She hears it. Invis res, gets some damage, and manages to get a kill onto the Mirage. And that's going to be it for Collins' B squad.
1 second. We got this.
Teammate full finished here. Now they're going to be a duo. We've got Warren G. Harding here who does manage to res. Crypto gets the banners. They are now down on the low ground here versus Collins on the high ground. Going to be a bit of a tough spot here. Collins immediately going for the res, wanting to get their Octane back in the game. Wraith doesn't want to wait. She decides I want to port down here. Again, takes a lot of early damage in the fight. Manages to get two.
Jump back here.
It's going to be the solo Octane here for Warren G. Harding. Goes for the spray early, doesn't quite hit the shots. And is probably going to go down here. Stands on the box, manages to stay up even in the lava. But Collins is going to fall into that, and that's going to be it for that match. We'll be back again with match number 2 and a check-in with the scores here in just a moment on World's Edge.
We have our Apex champion.
Coming back for a quick check-in on the scores after match 1. Unsurprisingly here, with a decent number of kills and a first-place finish in match number 1, Collins is going to be at the top currently, followed shortly by Warren G. Harding, who manages to make it to second in that previous match as well. Collins is B squad in third place overall currently, Auburn Career Center in fourth, Reynoldsburg makes it to fifth place with 4 KP. We've got Tiffin Columbia B in sixth, and then just behind them, Tiffin Columbia's A squad in seventh place, St. XA in eighth, Beaver Creek in ninth, Goshen's A squad manages to make it to the top half with 10. We've got Lakota with 11th place, Indian Hill with 12th, and Goshen C Squad with 13th place, but still 2 more matches to go. We'll be back here in just a couple moments on World's Edge once again. And here we are coming back again for match number 2 of Apex Legends Week 8 for World's Edge. It'd be interesting to see after match number 1. We've seen this before, especially with that Collins A squad. They like to play aggressive. They like to run people down. One of the stronger teams, one of the more aggressive teams. It'd be interesting to see how we see some team comps potentially respond to this. When you have teams like that who like to play hyper aggressive, who like to push out, they put themselves into tough situations. We saw it quite a few times. The Wraith, this 1v1 character here, they like to kind of put themselves into tough situations and sometimes get punished for it. Same thing with the Octane. We've seen these players go down in other situations, so it'll be interesting to see if we see some comps that adjust to that, right? Some comps that allow other teams to control the pace of the fight and to make it so it's a little harder to get yourself out once you get yourself into a tough situation. Once again, we're dropping in. We can see the beautiful drop ships on POIs all over the map here. Auburn Career Center, this time at Harvester. As we rotate through, this time we've got Beaver Creek here, landing Landslide. Collins Career Center A, this time it looks like, I believe, yep, we've got all the way over, where are we? Skyhook here. Nope, I'm mistaken here. We've got Collins B Squad all the way down here at the corner. A Squad, Fragment. Sorry, I thought this was Skyhook on the map. Nope, it's Fragment. We've got Collins B Squad over here at Stacks.
Let's move here.
Give me just one moment here.
I saw someone come there, and I don't think they're selling cookies.
As we continue to rotate through here, we have Goshen's A Squad once again with a pretty aggressive push early on here, pushing up on the team on Climatizer. If we take a little bit of a look here, it is once again Reynoldsburg. Surely third time's the charm for this fight of Goshen's A Squad versus Reynoldsburg, right? Let's see how it plays out here. A little bit of damage being done by both sides. Nobody had a really armor advantage here. Reynoldsburg team does extend out a little bit, so if nothing else, this is Goshen Squad interrupting their loot patterns just a little bit here. We can see Goshen's A Squad way in the distance there, decides to rotate array. Reynoldsburg maybe considering chasing this down. Early damage here being done onto the Octane. A little bit of a change-up of comp here, it looks like, on Goshen's A Squad here. No longer with the big, heavy, controller-heavy comp. Now we're going for something faster, leaner, more aggressive. Reynoldsburg, though, does want to give chase to this, it seems.
Hostile. My mark.
Goshen's A Squad crossing the bridge right now as Reynoldsburg runs up behind him. We're at risk, though, of these teams now running into some potential other players. Really good damage being done onto Goshen's A Squad here. Both of their... We've got the early damage here onto the Octane, who does manage to pull back here. And then the Conduit peeks the roof, but does get taken out. In the kill feed, we can see we have Goshen's C Squad, who managed to get caught out pretty early on as well. We can see here Goshen's A Squad now down to the solo of that Octane, does manage to get out. Pretty free and clear at the moment. May run into a couple other squads, but might be able to get that reset. Reynoldsburg kind of looks around here. Let's go back to rotating through. So we did see Goshen C Squad, unfortunately, taken out pretty early. Looks like they had some technical issues they were dealing with as well. Unfortunately, just does happen sometimes. We've got Indian Hill here, who's now rotating through Landslide. Lakota High School, who's actually getting one back up out. It looks like they lost one in the fight here. Now rezzing one in Landslide, pretty close to where that Goshen member was just running through. Reynoldsburg now fighting and getting a finish onto one of the Tiffin Columbia squad members as they're fighting over here in Epicenter. The Tiffin squad tries to rotate out here. Footsteps right on them as Reynoldsburg does try to run it down. Damage being done onto the Crypto, and they do manage to get the knock onto the Crypto. Meanwhile, the Rampart here for Tiffin Columbia wants to get away from it. Looks like Reynoldsburg's decided, you know what, if you can't beat them, join them. We're going to run people down as well. Chasing that Goshen A squad early on to get 2 eliminated. Now chasing down the Tiffin Columbia squad. Doesn't seem like they maybe saw where that Rampart went. So she may be able to get out and get a reset. Let's check in real quick with the rest of our teams because we did kind of pause here. Looks like Lakota squad actually does run into, I believe, Goshen A squad fresh off the res and is going to be taken out actually. So Goshen's A squad does manage to get 2 back in, and they immediately face a fight with the freshly res Lakota as well. Up here on the hill, we've got Beaver Creek kind of taking a look at that, seeing if they want a third party here. Let's continue rotating through because we still haven't caught up with quite all of our teams. Now we go to St. X's A squad, walking in a bit slowly all the way up here at Tree. We have Tiffin Columbia A, who, as that Rampart is now in zone, looking to heal and looking to maybe get a reset off. If she's good on meds, she almost certainly can live this and get her team back in here. We've got Tiffin Columbia's B squad low on armor here, kind of making the slow walk-in as they push out of the back. Looks like maybe a mod, maybe a stacks POI, as they are currently rotating here in through staging. And then Warren G. Harding here as a duo. All the way in the backside, it looks like, at this very isolated launch site POI, which brings us back to Auburn Career Center. All right, let's take a look at conflicts. We immediately have Goshen A squad. All right, here we go again. It's Reynoldsburg, it's Goshen. 4th time surely is the charm. Early damage being done. We do see a knock done onto the Sparrow here by Goshen here, so they are going to be looking to get that res off quickly. Goshen's A squad decides, you know what? This has maybe not been the best of luck for us. We're going to rotate in. We're going to try and get safe. They pull back a little bit while Reynoldsburg rallies. Indian Hill peeking at this meanwhile, deciding if they want to also, again, third party this fight.
Someone else is over there.
The Octane is putting down some sort of suppressing fire here onto that Reynoldsburg squad. Now, Goshen noticing that Indian Hill team in the back. Let's take a look and see if there's anybody else. We do have some fighting way down here on the south. Let's stick with this for just a moment, and then we'll go check in and see what's going on with that Collins squad. And they do manage to get the wipe, so that's going to be Goshen's A squad taking out Indian Hill. Reynoldsburg, though, of course, immediately looking at that. Like we said, they're playing much more aggressive this game. Is it going to be the 5th time of Reynoldsburg versus Goshen? Now Goshen with a little bit more of an advantage in armor and loot than they had last time. They've got 1 purple, 2 blue to the triple blue from Reynoldsburg. Reynoldsburg is hitting their shots, though. They've been playing smart. They've been getting good damage early on. Coordinating, triple peeking. Conduit ult comes out. That's going to control the pace of this fight a little bit and make it harder for them to get the push off. Sparrow ult comes out, tries to thread the needle of the truck in order to get that damage, forces Goshen to respond, giving them the opportunity to walk up a little bit. We do still have that conduit ult that's doing a good amount of work here. The Sparrow gets triple swung by Goshen, but right at the same time, that Bangalore is pushing up in the back as well. It's now going to be a 3v2. It's just that Octane up, and that is going to be it. Really well fought, but ultimately Reynoldsburg does manage to take it with their aggressive play as well. So one of these times we may see that rematch. Now if we check back in, we've seen quite a few things happening down here. We've got some KP being picked up. Looks like just, 4 or 5 different kills being picked up here by the Collins squad. So we maybe saw some team wipes down here on the south of the map in that big pileup that was happening a moment ago. Auburn Career Center here as a solo looks to get the res off, trying to get their teammates back in the match. Looking at the map here, we don't see anybody who's going to be running into each other right away. Collins here is running to get a spot in zone at Big Mod. We have Tiffin Columbia B squad here that is going to be having to rotate over here through Lava Siphon. Auburn Career Center just got the res off. They're going to be walking into the backside of zone here as well. Tiffin Columbia A, way far away. That was our solo Rampart. She does manage to get the res off. She's the hero. She gets them back in the game. They're going to be able to move their way in here as well. Sanex's A squad already setting up, and Collins immediately leaving their position in zone to chase down this res onto Auburn Career Center. It's going to be a 3v1 here as we have the remaining Watson player fencing up, looking to defend against this hard push from Collins. Isn't able to do it, unfortunately. Auburn Career Center does manage to get the res off, but then is taken out. Meanwhile, we've got Beaver Creek walking up, kind of looking at that potentially as well. Tiffin Columbia B squad also rotating in at the same time. Collins in zone, but not in a very strong position on the low ground here. Looks like Tiffin Columbia's B squad here now running into that aggressive play from Reynoldsburg. Early knock and then good damage now being done. Tiffin Columbia's B squad decides they got to play a little bit quiet here, hope to live another day as they rotate in late in this zone. Reynoldsburg gets the full finish onto one, does some damage here. After all that chaos, I do believe it's Collins who's pushing up here now. Decides to take that onto the aggressive Reynoldsburg squad. Once again, we see, again, this is what happens when you play like this. So we've seen this many times. This Collins squad will overextend, and they do manage to get lucky. They manage to outdamage their opponents. But in this case, again, that Wraith is now gone, out of the game. Her teammates are going to have to decide how they're going to play this. It's now a 3v2, excuse me, a 2v2 here of Collins versus Reynoldsburg. Now it is a 2v1, so we're going to have the last remaining player here. Reynoldsburg eliminated. The duo of Collins going to have to go for a res here. Meanwhile, it looks like Sanex A is taking a look at Tiffin Columbia A. Fighting for a spot in Geyser. They wall up. They decide they're not going to push this. We saw this in a previous match on World's Edge. When you're faced with a really aggressive team like this, so let's talk about this from a coaching perspective for just a little bit here, because Apex is a really interesting game of strategy. Obviously, we've seen Collins, especially their A squad, rack up quite a bit of kills. They play aggressive. They really like to push fights and run around as quickly as possible. But there's a couple ways that you can respond to that, especially at this level where you know you're going to be getting points for KP as well as points for placement. Option number one is you find a character that can help control the fight, right? You have Sparrow ults, or you have Ballistic Q. You have something that allows you to affect what characters are able to use their abilities, how people are able to fight, right? If you use a Seer Q, for example, on a player like this Wraith, somebody who likes to run in, who relies on their Q to be able to get out safely, that's really going to be able to punish them, right? Because they no longer have that ability. If you're playing Ballistic, for example, then the gunplay they're relying to do early damage is also going to be ticking, and they have to make some decisions about what they're going to be able to push. That's option one, right? When you have teams that rely on playing aggressive and then that kind of have to bail themselves out time and time again, you want to be able to control the pace of that fight and make it so they can't do that. Speaking of controlling the pace of the fight, option number two is, and we'll talk about this here right now for Saint X, you get defensive, right? You know that you're going to be making points off of placement. You know that you're going to be racking things up as long as you survive. When you can hold a team out who likes to play aggressively like this, they don't have a lot of options for fighting that. So we see this in the triple controller legend here. Now they are caught unawares. They gave up their building here. 2 down now here. That's going to be a wipe. But we've seen this in previous matches. In Storm Point just a week or two ago, we saw that same exact Saint X A squad with a triple controller comp who held this team out in the end game, and there was basically nothing they could do to push that. So some interesting strategies going on here when you have teams like this who you know are playing aggressively and who are really pushing these other squads. Really a few ways that you can respond in order to make kind of a difference and an impact in those fights. Collins now looking at some reses. It looks like it's Tiffin Columbia getting at least one back in, so they're going to be a duo. Tiffin Columbia A, meanwhile, still with 2 down, needs to figure out a way to get banners if they're going to get in this match. Beaver Creek High School, meanwhile, as a trio, is going to be walking through the choke here. Collins, again, not surprising here. They decide to push out a zone. So this is, again, something that you can really, really, really get punished for, depending on how things play out. You push out of zone as it's starting to close, a team gets behind you, and now suddenly you don't have a really viable spot, and you're going to take a ton of storm damage.
Full in my sight.
Beaver Creek now looks at that Collins squad, sees them running around. They also need to rotate in, though, so not a lot of ability to hold people out when you yourself haven't made it quite in yet. As we take a look at kind of the end game here, you can see Beaver Creek has a full trio. They do manage to catch out the conduit, while the solo of Tiffin Columbia's squad now in the zone. This is going to be very, very tough. Q's back in. They get the full finish. Again, though, really, really a lot of zone damage being taken here. It is going to be a 2-up, 2v1 here as the Tiffin Columbia A squad member makes it to second place. Again, like I said, that's another option. You know, based on how the league points system works for Esports Ohio, that if you have a tough lobby, if you have a tough situation where, running around fighting isn't going to be a viable option, then you also can rack up some placement points, right? Making it to second place, even if you have no KP, even if you have no damage, it does get points on the board. Looks like Collins sees some earlier Watson fences. That was actually where St. X A was holed up prior to them pushing out and going into the tunnel before they got into that fight. They see that a heavy usage of controller utility, and they think, you know what? That's probably where they're at.
Mira, someone's out there.
Heard that.
They're far.
Tiffin Columbia A now goes for the res. We see the Wraith pushing in on this. Portal comes out. Manages to get some early damage onto that lifeline. She's going to be able to drone and heal at least a little bit of that up. Now, meanwhile, we see the remaining players here for Tiffin Columbia getting some damage. Rampart goes in here. Unfortunately, fresh off the res, Rampart not going to be able to get Sheila out, as that is a pretty powerful ability, but you don't have it right off the rip. That's going to be another match in the books. We'll check back on scores here in just a moment to see how things are shaking out so far this week. All right, checking back in after our second match. No surprises here. After a couple commanding performances, we've got Collins A squad in first. Reynoldsburg close behind off of some aggressive play in match number 2. Warren G. Harding drops just slightly to third place. Tiffin Columbia's A squad off of a smart set of performances there in match number 2 climbs to fourth place. We've got Beaver Creek in fifth. Collins B squad in sixth place. Auburn Career Center in seventh. St. X's A squad in eighth place. Tiffin Columbia's B squad in ninth place. Goshen A staying solid in the top half in 10th, Lakota in 11th, Indian Hill in 12th, Goshen C squad climbing up a place to be in 13th place, and then we had a little bit of technical issues with our team 16 rather, which was just an unfortunate logistical bump in the road. We'll be back after just a couple minutes here with match number 3. Here we go once again for our final set of matches for the week for Apex Legends here on Esports Ohio. Let's take a look once again at team comps. Again, let's see how people respond, how we see this final set of matches go for Legend picks. Here's our legend picks coming out. Again, lots of aggressive play, lots of assault characters, and lots of skirmisher characters. People looking for that mobility, looking for that aggression. Let's check in with our team positions here as everyone drops in. Auburn Career Center, it looks like on Geyser, right where the end zone was last match. We've got Beaver Creek High School. Looks like they are getting fragment from the looks of the map here. Collins Career Center A, it looks like this time on the opposite side of fragment here. So we've got Beaver Creek on Monument and Collins A on fragment. We're going to see them pretty quickly probably try and take a fight here as these two POIs are very close to one another. Collins B squad here on Harvester. We've got Goshen's A squad this time all the way over at Survey Camp. We have Goshen C squad at Climatizer. Sorry, Epicenter rather, not Climatizer. We've got Indian Hill here this time all the way up at looks like Lava Fisher. We've got Lakota here on Sky East. We've got Reynoldsburg High School way on the other side here on Climatizer. We've got St. X's High School here at Survey Camp. Tiffin Columbia A here all the way up at Thermal Station. Tiffin Columbia's B squad. Meanwhile, over here in Sky East, we've got Warren G. Harding at Lava Siphon, and that brings us back around again to Auburn Career Center. Let's take a look. Not a surprise here. Early shots coming down from Collins Career Center A onto our Beaver Creek squad here on opposite sides. Two teams splitting this, big city POI. It's not a shocker that we see fighting early on, especially when one of them likes to play as aggressively as this. Not coming out here from the Wraith. Must not have been able to find an R9 because the Volt and the Spitfire, I don't think have ever touched this man's hands before. They managed to get the finish, or the knock rather, onto 2. It's going to be the Newcastle looking to get out. We can see it is being chased. The Wraith is pretty close. Got a pretty good lead here, though. Might potentially be able to stay out, actually. They are 3-man chasing. We do see some other kills happening in the kill feed. Looks like Reynoldsburg fighting with Goshen. Using Newcastle ult to get even a little bit more of a lead here as he runs. We'll check back up with that here in just a minute, but meanwhile we do have some fighting here. Reynoldsburg again going for that aggressive play here. It's Goshen C squad. Looks like running a double controller and support comp. Going to be very, very, very difficult to push. As we talked about a little bit in the last match, that is one of the valid responses here. When you have teams who are looking to chase things down, teams who are looking to run down fights, when you deny them that ability, when you are a controller legend, when you are someone who has the ability to slow down or deny a legend's abilities to fight or to use their actual abilities as well, you take away a lot of what those teams are able to do. Collins squad looks like gives up the fight versus Beaver Creek and now is pushing back onto the duo of Warren G. Harding. Way up north, we've got a few teams actually here in Fragment. Goshen's A squad, it looks like, is looking for a fight here early on. They're spotting, looks like Lakota, actually triple split. We've got one from Lakota all the way over here in Trials. We've got one all the way over here running through Tunnel, and then we've got one going here through the Choke.
Got my upgrade. Let's see where it takes me.
Meanwhile, Reynoldsburg, that aggressive team, now running into Auburn Career Center. We'll watch this fight here for just a moment. Early good damage here being done by Reynoldsburg onto the lifeline for Auburn. Revenant ult comes out. So does lifeline ult. Takes shield damage. Shield is broken for the Revenant ult. He gets in there, though. Reynoldsburg still 2 up. Actually 1 knock there. And Auburn Career Center going to be taken out by Reynoldsburg. Collins B squad now fighting with Warren G. Harding, that duo that we saw running through a little bit ago here. They get some early damage. Collins A, meanwhile, looking to maybe grab some loot potentially. We've got a lot of squads actually congregating. Do they know something that we don't? Let's take a look and see where the next ring is if we're able to. Nope, my keybind here doesn't want to work, so we can't take a look at the next ring, but it may be pulling this direction if we have quite a few squads stacking up over here.
Care package over here. Weapons.
That's solo here for Lakota, still in trials. Zipping up right now onto Tiffin Columbia B. Tiffin Columbia seems to notice that they're there.
Alternator here.
Lakota, that solo, tries to get out to go rejoin his teammates. This is some kind of crazy positioning from teams here. Goshen's A squad trying to find a fight, not able to find it though. Tiffin Columbia very spread out here. Lakota very spread out here as well. Meanwhile, Sanex's A squad rolling in. Indian Hill rolling in here. Goshen here trying to figure out how to take this fight. They managed to spot one. Get the full finish. That's going to be Tiffin Columbia down a man as Goshen picks up 1 KP off of that. Sanex's A squad, meanwhile, rotating through. And yep, there we go. So we must have had some early scans coming out from Controller Legends. Meanwhile, let's watch some Collins on Collins violence here. Collins' A squad does manage to run into their B squad. Early damage here being done by the Wraith onto Horizon ult comes out. Collins B is going to be eliminated. Pretty decent damage done in that fight, though. The Horizon ult's not a bad play there. Again, abilities that slow down characters and kind of disincentivize the sort of movement-heavy meta that we are currently in right now. Meanwhile, let's check back in with Reynoldsburg, who is currently in a fight with Beaver Creek High School. They get the knock onto the Newcastle. It's going to be a 2v3, make that a 1v3. Reynoldsburg now chasing down, and they do get the full elimination onto the Beaver Creek squad, as the Lifeline is the last to go down. If we take a look here at the map, we can see people pretty far spread out at the moment. We've got Collins here, fresh off of wiping their B squad, now moving through Monument, trying to get back towards zone. Collins C squad making its way in slowly but surely here. Again, double controller and support legend. So as long as they, unless they run into this here and have to pick a fight here, might be able to get in and secure a good spot. We've got Goshen A here, all the way up here, doing trials, actually, because it was kind of left alone by whatever team landed in SkyWest trials. Sanex's A squad decides, you know what? It worked for us before. Let's pick a building. And this time, unlike last match, let's stay in that building until we have to, really have to go take a fight somewhere else. So they're going to be turtling here on this building. Now peeking on the Goshen squad, it looks like. A lot of really early damage being done here onto the Octane here for Goshen squad. If Sanex A has learned their lesson, though, they are not going to be leaving this building. They're not going to be leaving this rooftop. Warren G. Harding here rotating in behind. Going to be very hard for anybody to push a triple controller, Watson, Caustic, and Rampart Legend comp. Goshen C squad rotating in. Let's take a look. Reynoldsburg once again running it down. This time versus Lakota. Good early damage. They're now 2 up, both cracked.
Let's go this way.
Also here, looks like Tiffin Columbia B. So there's actually 2 squads running into one another as the Reynoldsburg team looks to take fights and get some KP. Ooh, unfortunate melee there as the Tiffin Columbia B squad's going to be eliminated as Reynoldsburg picks up some more there. Putting themselves on the board. Meanwhile, let's take a look. Warren G. Harding here. Again, Controller Legends getting pushed by Collins, who is now rotated all the way into Sky. Sanex here. They see that team. That's going to be Goshen, I believe, who they're firing some shots at here. Or no, actually, looks like one full eliminated here. They do have the banner, though. So it's going to be Collins' A squad kind of split across a little bit. Sanex, once again, playing strong in this building, kind of turtling here. They've got one pinned down. Good damage here being done onto both the Conduit and the Octane, who's kind of locked down in position here while they're getting triple stared at. They do manage to get the Wraith back in, though, which is going to give them some additional movement options. The Wraith decides to pad in, looking to get their loot back here after this fight where they were full eliminated here. Sanex A, though, seems to have learned their lesson. They're going to hold here. They're going to look for damage. They're going to look for eliminates on teams, but they're not going to give up this building until they absolutely have to. Taking a look here. Let's watch here. They're running around looking to get that bin, but it looks like Lakota also has their eyes on it, so we're probably going to see a fight happening here as both of these teams look to get that good loot. It's going to be Collins versus Lakota here on the building, fighting for that red bin. One elimination here comes out onto the Ash for Lakota. The Wraith here going to be solo. They're going to triple pad onto the roof there. Don't seem to know that he's ratting there, though. Meanwhile, let's take a look. This Reynoldsburg squad, once again, highly aggressive play here. Taking a fight onto Goshen's C squad, actually. Rotating in kind of slow here. In this kind of open field, not a lot of utility to be gotten out of these controller legends, unfortunately. Just makes it a lot harder to hold position. They do their best here by getting that lifeline out early. The Watson's going to be able to get away. And it doesn't look to me like she's being chased. It doesn't look like they maybe saw her get out. So if she plays this smart and she moves from zone here, she may be able to get a res off potentially or get her teammates back in. Meanwhile, speaking of getting a res off, Goshen's A squad looks like lost one. We missed the fight on that one, but they're just about to get their Sparrow back in here and be a 3-man once again. Collins Career Center. Little antsy. They've only got one thing to look at, so that's kind of what's on their brain here, which is this triple controller comp here. They decide, you know what, we're going to get in this building. We're going to see if we can get some damage from the roof here.
I'm not sure. I think someone's targeting me.
Again, a lot of early damage being taken onto this Wraith. She decides to queue in, takes the portal back. This is what we were just talking about, right? This is a team that relies on technical skill, is really, really aggressive in how they play, but you can very easily get punished for that, especially in a game like this, where abilities and kit can make a big difference in a fight. With a team like this, right? And you may say, well, I don't want to sit in a building. It's not as fun. I mean, I get that. I totally understand. It's more fun to run around, but there is not a lot that a hyper-aggressive team can do when you are turtled up like this and kind of protecting your back and making it so they don't have the ability to do that. Let's take a look here. Reynoldsburg rotating in here actually looks at the push here from a lot of quick damage coming out here from Collins. Looks like trades. It's going to be a 2v3, I believe, here. They do manage to eliminate them. Again, taking a lot of early damage in the process here. Goshen C squad now, that solo looking to craft and res that solo Watson. Goshen's A squad, meanwhile, looking at that Sanex squad, needing to decide kind of how they're going to get their spot in zone. Collins spots, it looks like the craft coming out from that Watson, so they're going to push that and try and pick up some KP. Also spots Goshen A as they're trying to kind of looking to decide where they want to go. Decides that they want to take the fight onto Goshen A instead. Gets the knock, but then is downed. Again, kind of isolated a little bit. The Octane now gets up here. It's going to be Octane versus Octane here. It's now going to be a 2v1 as Goshen's A squad now fighting. Really great damage there onto the Collins squad. They're going to be taken out. Goshen C squad now has banners, was kind of the distraction there, has a res beacon. Now going to have to get a spot in zone, though, but is going to be having to walk right by this hyper-aggressive squad. Sanex's A squad, I love it. I honestly love it. You might say, again, it's more fun to watch people run around. This is what I like about Apex, though. You play strategically, you play smart, you control the pace of fights, and you can kind of decide who's able to do what. So Sanex A going to already be climbing to 4th place. They are the full 3-man here. Let's actually watch this from this Collins squad as Sanex picks a new spot. And you know what? Collins pulls back again. They rotate out. Like I said, when you're in that kind of position, you don't really have a lot of options when you're denied the ability to run in and when you don't have the freedom to just kind of go wherever you choose. Collins now aware that there's 2 squads up. They know that they've got this triple controller comp here. They do see the res coming out. He gets it off, but is immediately going to be set upon by that squad. So 2 going to be dropping in. They're going to pick up 1 more KP, and we'll see what the remaining Goshen players who are coming fresh off the drop ship are going to be able to do. The absolutely clutch glide ability coming from the support legend here, as she's able to at least survive a little bit longer. Pushed by that Wraith. Once again, though, out of zone now. Going to have to kind of move their way back in again. Now Sanex chooses this opportunity. They see the fighting. They say, you know what? There's a better spot. It's in zone. Let's get set up. Now we have a solo here. Just 1 up for Lakota. There is a crafter right there on the edge of zone. I think that might be what he's looking at, but I don't think there's time, unfortunately, as we got 5 seconds to go. Collins wants to take this fight. They managed to knock out some of the low ground utility. Moving slowly in. Again, really, really difficult. If you play smart, you play your positions here, right? A team like this, there's not much that they can really do to get those sort of free run-ins for you know, no cost, no damage. They have a portal in, so they're going to be able to kind of maybe pop in, pop out a little bit, although that does burn that in case they need it for additional utility. Meanwhile, it looks like the Lakota solo chooses that moment to kind of third party. Pretty smart move. If you're solo in that situation and you know there's 2 remaining full 3-mans, when you see them fighting, kind of rolling up, ideally you want to wait for trades. You want to wait so that there's a little bit more damage being done. But, you know, not the worst play in the world. And now, again, we see Sanex's A squad makes it to top 2, right? They're going to be racking up some really, really good placement points off of this. The Wraith for Collins, she wants in so badly. She really wants to get in there. That's going to be a knock coming out. They managed to get a pick here from Sanex. Damage coming out here by the Wraith. They go for the res underneath. Come on, pull out Sheila. We want to see the big guns. Zone's going to be closing. Now, this is the tough part, right? Zone is not perfectly closing on these buildings, so Sanex's A squad is going to have to move out. Kind of unfortunate. They did get that early pick, but now they do have kind of just the full res coming out, so it is going to be a 3v3 here in this final fight. Collins finds that caustic out on their own, does some early damage, but he manages to get back inside into the safe space. Kraber shot comes out. We do see a knock being done onto that caustic as well. Wraith goes down. Good damage being done, though, onto the... That's the Sheila. That's what we love to see it. We love big guns. Come on. Pull it out again. Give her the minigun treatment. Oh, really good shotgun shots here coming out from the the Octane, though, and that's going to be it. Collins does manage to take it after a really good run for their money here. Both teams managing to get some really tough picks right in that late in that fight, actually, that kind of tilted it one way or the other, but they do manage to survive on that door. We'll check in one last time with scores here to see where things stack up overall for this week, and then we'll be back next week as well for more Apex Legends through Esports Ohio. All right, let's check back in for our final round of scores. We hit the refresh button, and we can see overall we have Collins finishing first on the week, picking up those league points for this week. Close behind them, we have Reynoldsburg, again, with a pretty awesome performance here. Warren G. Harding in third. St. X's A Squad in fourth place. Tiff and Columbia in fifth place. Goshen's A Squad jumping up to sixth place. We've got Beaver Creek High School in seventh. Tiff and Columbia B in eighth. Collins' B Squad in ninth. Auburn in 10th. Lakota's in 11th. Goshen C Squad jumps up just a little bit here into 12th place. Indian Hill in 13th place. And that's going to do it for this week of Apex Legends through Esports Ohio. We will be back next week for our 9th week of matches out of 10 season matches. And then we will announce our post-season scores. So we will see you again next time.